welcome back to Digital Class, and this is your last reminders for PSLE 2023. So I believe that so far you have been practicing hard, and this is the time that you are supposed to shine. Okay, so I'm not sure when are you looking at this video. So basically now, but what I'm gonna share with you now is basically before PSLE, during PSLE, and after PSLE, what you are supposed to do during this duration or this period of time. So the night before you sleep, this is what I would suggest you to do. Means that from now until the night before you go for PSLE. So I wanted to actually encourage you to check on these three important category things. Okay. So the first one is you can see as a piece of pencil that basically means stationaries. Second is a proof of identity. And the third is basically your uniform or belongings. So the first one, stationery. The first thing I want to encourage you is please make sure you have a transparent pencil box to keep all the stationeries that you need for the exam. Okay. Second, please make sure you have the black or dark blue 0.5 mm ballpoint pens. Make sure you have at least 2 to 3 just in case anything might happen. Next, make sure you have your 2B pencils and erasers, especially the sharpened 2B pencil, and make sure it's 2B, not the other HB or other Bs, okay? And make sure you have at least 2 to 3 2B pencils. Next, make sure you have your rulers and protractors, and this is actually for mathematics, but of course you know when you need it. And the next thing, your approved dictionary or calculator. Okay? And again, this is for certain paper or for certain subject. But please do take note that actually you are allowed to bring spare batteries if you need. The next thing is about the proof of identity. So there are a few things that you should know, must have. They are like example entry proof, passport, and student pass. And again, these three things are specifically for those that are taking PSLE, those international students that are taking PSLE. So for a local students, Singaporean students, you may check with your teacher what you are supposed to have. Okay. And the next thing is about your uniform or your belongings. Please make sure you come in full uniform and make sure you iron your shirt and show yourself you are confident. Next, jacket. If you feel you are afraid of cold, please bring your jacket. The next thing, water bottle. Yes, you are allowed to bring water bottle in, but please take note that don't drink too much water during the exam. Okay. Next, your normal watch or watches that you think is allowed, but please no smart watches. Okay. Have a small bag to carry all the things, and of course your MRT card, wallet, purse, and etc. So this is the time from now until you before you sleep, you must make sure these three categories things you should have. Okay. And I would strongly suggest you please sleep before 10 o'clock. Okay. And no burning midnight oil. Okay. The next thing, when you wake up in the morning, what are you supposed to do? So try to wake up early. Next thing, just take a shower, have your breakfast, and try not to eat something that's too heavy. And also, of course, have a last check on these three categories. And of course, you reach school, and the normal reporting time for my school is 7:15 a.m. So you may check with your teacher what is the reporting time for your school, and make sure you arrive about 10 to 15 minutes before the meeting time or the reporting time. Okay, this is actually able to help you to cool down yourself, and of course to avoid some unforeseen circumstances, for example train disruption. But of course, if you encounter a train disruption, you don't need to be too worried. The first thing that you should do is try to inform your school or your teachers and continue to make way to your school. Okay, so please make sure you have the contact of the school or the WhatsApp, or basically the contact for your teacher also. Okay, and basically the website that you can see from SCAB actually have assured that you'll be given the full duration to sit for your paper. Okay, if it's a train disruption. Okay, and of course you are not required to obtain or produce an excuse letter, okay, from the MRT station. Okay, and next, once you arrive, go to the meeting place. Next, please, when you arrive there, I know some of you arrive early, please try not to play your mobile games, okay? Just sit there, relax, okay? Next, listen to instruction. This is something that's very important. If your teacher are giving you time to go to the toilet, please go immediately, okay? And next, always have things with you, the stationery, the proof of identity, and of course, your water bottle and jacket if you need, okay? Next is exam. During exam, what you are supposed to take note. Of course, the first thing is I believe that you know that you'll be given a barcode label with your name there. So as you can see from the screen, there'll be your name, the school, and the barcode, and etc. And these are the things you'll be having. This is the barcode label with your name, and you'll be pasting it inside or on, or I should say on the exam paper. As you can see from there, paste your barcode label here. Okay. And there are things that you should take note is that you are not allowed and you are not supposed to deface or write on three things, which is first, the QR code, second, the spine, and the third, which is a time mark. Okay, so these three things are very important, which I believe your teachers have already briefed you, but I'm just giving you a kind reminder. Okay, next, in exam, also the same thing. Please make sure you use dark or black or dark blue 0.5 mm tip size ballpoint pen. Okay. Next, use 2B pencils only for shading, which is for your optical answer sheet, and only for drawing, for example, for math or science that if you need to draw like graph or something. Okay. Next, please shade your optical answer sheet properly. Please shade full circle and make sure you fill in everything and try not to exit the bubbles that is given to you. Okay. Next, do not use correction tape and highlighters. Okay, just try not to bring these two things. Okay. Next, write only on the assigned place. Okay, if you're given this space to write, just write on this space. Okay. And if you don't know the question, skip it and come back later. Don't spend too much time on that question that you don't know. Then please check again once you're done. Please do not sleep. Check until time's up. Again, this is the advice I always given to my students. Please check, check, check until time's up. Okay. You might be confused like why some of these things or some of these rules are being so strict. This is actually because the they are using a new marking system for the past few years, actually called on-screen marking. Basically mean OSM. So basically, they will basically scan through all the exam papers from you, then they will mark on screen. Okay, this is called on-screen marking. That's why they need all these rules to make sure everything is clear enough for the marker to mark. Okay, and these are some of the feedbacks or concerns from 2020 and 2021 when they use on-screen marking. So as you can see, if you use pencil, the scan response will appear very faint and it's difficult to read. That's why the reminders here is asking you to please use ballpoint pen, black or dark blue. Okay, and as you can see, pen, if with the tip size of more than 0.5 mm are used, for example, some of you like to use 0.7, the response will appear small and making the image unclear and difficult to read. So please try to use 0.5 mm. That's the best. Highlighter are used, it will appear black when scanned. So avoid highlighters, don't bring it. Correction tape, also the same thing. If it's dark, then all will appear as black when it's scanned. And again, when answers are written beyond the space given or written too close to the time mark or spine, the full response will not be captured. I just share with you that example, if you have a booklet, example something like this, a booklet, because they want to scan this, right? Because exam is in booklet, and you want to scan, and it's hard for them to scan if it's in booklet. So what happened is they will cut the spine. They cut here, then it will be individual pieces. Then it's easier for them to scan. So if you write on the spine, then they cut the response will, your answer will be gone. Okay, something to take note. But teacher, there's really no space to write. I given only this small space. I have not enough space to write. Then how? These are some of the suggestions given by the SCAB. Is you actually can write your answer in any available space, of course, except for the margin, in the existing bullet, in the booklet itself, but you must label the question number clearly. Okay, as you can see, sequence 1. And of course, sequence 2, if really no space in the existing booklet, the booklet that you have, you actually can ask for an additional answer booklet or additional question paper or whatever. And third, of course, if you really don't have, then they'll be giving you a line paper. But of course, you don't need to worry this. For part 2 and part 3, sequence 2 and sequence 3, you can just ask the invigilator and they will be helping you. Okay? So the next, once you're done with exam, what you're supposed to do? First, please make sure you check you have all your belongings first. All the pencils, stationeries, your proof of identity, your jacket, water bottle. Please make sure you have all these things with you. Next, please do not leave the exam hall until you're instructed. Okay? The invigilator need to check through the papers, make sure they have enough exam papers and everything. So please make sure you wait until they're instructed. You can go, then you. Next, after you have left the exam hall, I know that you're excited, you'll be discussing the answer with your friends. Try to avoid that because that will sometimes actually affect your mood in continuing the next paper. Example, if you got all the questions right, hey, the same answer with your friend, you might be very happy. But what if the answer is a difference? Then you know that, I might get very low score on this. Then you might be affected, okay? And of course, revise for your next paper. If, for example, you're having a next paper, just quickly go through. Yeah, don't need to spend too much time reading. Just revise a bit, okay? And of course, please go home if your exam for the day is done and try not to check answer in social platform. Okay, the same reason as I've shared with you. There'll be a lot of teachers sharing answer, a lot of students posting their answer. Please try not to look at this. Again, it might affect your mood. Okay. And again, what you can do is you can repeat the whole process that I've shared with you for the next exam. Again, checking all these things that I mentioned. Okay. But again, just quickly to encourage you, please make sure you try to read through this booklet. This is a 2023 primary school leaving exam rules and regulations for candidates. So I believe you have received this a long time ago, but I also encourage you again, read through this booklet again so you will not forget any rules or regulation that's been mentioned. Okay, or you can scan through the QR code to get this soft copy. Okay. So that's all for my reminders. I want to wish you all the best in your PSLE and goodbye.